laps left in the race, and let's see what's possible. Yes, lovely, we have gained the lead, so let's try and see if we can keep the car behind. Hello and welcome back to the channel for another season of GPRO, and this time we are running with a white livery, so let's get going. But sadly we have been relegated from Elite back down to Master 1, and we have lost our driver because the driver was still an Elite driver, so we need to make sure that we find a driver for the first race of the season and possibly a technical director, but the driver is the most important thing that we need to do. Let's take a look at the car levels currently into Master 1, and we can clearly see that we currently have the second best car of the field, so that's lovely. So we need to make sure that we get a good decent driver, so we maybe can score some points in the first couple races. That could be really helpful. And the weather for race 1 at Zandvoort, which is a handling track, it's dry and about 20 degrees, so so basic dry conditions, like most likely a 2-stop or something like that, so that's nice to know. Well, let's take a look at some possible contract offers that we can do, and I have found this driver, Luca Amati. I think I quite like him based on last season and what happened. Yes, decent amount of stamina, not too old. He has some aggression that I am looking for, and importantly he has a favorite track at race 2 of the season, so that could work as well. And his racing shirt is already the correct color, that is nice as well, so we don't need to change that at all. Yeah, he might be a little bit on the expensive side, but that might be okay for the driver market. And for the technical director, we are just going to be searching for the pit coordination, and then based on that I have added the technical directors to the shortlist, and then when they get some offers I will throw them out of the shortlist, and then we will pick someone that isn't too expensive, that knows how to do a pit stop. So it could be any one of those, I don't know yet. Let's quickly take a look at the sponsors that we have for the current season, and these are the active sponsors that are on the car, and after these have finished there won't be any new ones this season. So hopefully if none of these sponsors leave, we will be getting 47 million of sponsor income this season, so that should be really nice, and we can pay some tires for it, so let's see what's possible. Let's take a look how my staff and facilities are looking at the start of the season. So here we can see them, and my max training is at 26 and my staff is at 24, so that means that at some point I will need to buy some facilities. So yes, that's something to consider. I'm not quite sure if I am going to be training my staff, so we need to see what's going to happen there this season. It's time for a contract offer update, so let's check it out. These offers have been made, and of course we are looking to get Luca Amati, but we have some backup offers, and also we have offered a contract to a technical director, so let's see what happened. Let's start with the technical director. I think we have a lovely one for 288k, no bonus money, and a lot of pit coordination, so hopefully we get some nice decent pit stops, and let's see what we can do with him. And now it's time to check out the driver. In the end it became Thomas Moss. Here we have him. He is pretty cheap. We have a contract for 17 races. He is also on the older side. Hopefully his stamina is high enough, and he doesn't know how to drive into the wet, so that shouldn't be an issue, I think, with the plans. And he has some aggression, so when the conditions should be correct, he should be able to qualify quickly, so let's hope he is a decent choice for the season. The time of the season has come to select the tire supplier, and for this season we have a few choices. Of course, we have a driver that doesn't have any talent, so the F1 and the Yokohama are out of the question. I don't fancy going for the Continentals this season. Yes, could work, but maybe not. So the realistic option is Dunlop, or the crazy option is Hancock. So let's check out the votes. And the votes are in. We have 46 votes, and of course you can clearly see that the Hancock has won by a few votes, so let's go for the Hancock. And yes, let's indeed go for the Hancock. Yes, I really fancy the extra dry performance, and I would like to give it a try myself. I think it should be fine with the driver that we have. And of course, if I relegate, it doesn't matter. So let's sign the contract, and contract signed with the Hancock, and let's go racing. Let's do some driver training before race 1 of the season to increase his speed, hopefully. So let's get going. But first, driver contract. We are going to be extending the contract by 1 race to get some additional motivation. So let's extend the contract, and yes, lovely. And that is 50 motivation that we didn't have before. And now the driver training. We will be going for sports psychologist to get even more motivation for the driver. So let's do that and confirm it. And now we have 91 motivation, so 41 increase. So lovely. So let's go racing. Race 1 of the season, qualified in a lovely 7th position, and hopefully we can have a nice start and gain a few positions if at all possible, and get some points this race. That would be nice with this driver, the tires and the crazy wings that we got. So far still in 7th, doesn't look like there is that much pressure from behind. Yes, lovely, we gained a position into 6th. No, we haven't, or maybe we can. Lap is almost complete. Yes, lovely. After the race, we are into a 6th position. So after lap 1 of the race, we have gained a position into a 6th place. So let's see what's possible. And yes, of course, we have the Hancock, so we don't have any durability on the tires. So I am running with mediums to be able to do a 2-stop, whilst the others with normal tire choices can do a 2-stop with soft tires. And it seems like that we are stuck behind a slower car. That is unfortunate. As there is a nice gap in front of him, and he has a driver mistake, so lovely. So we have 3. No, we haven't, because we got unlucky with the driver mistake of our own. So we are now back behind him. So yes, so I think we are slightly unlucky. So still don't know if we even have the pace to get into the points and keep in the points. Yes, lovely, we got past him as he has bad tires before the pit stop. And pit stop time, let's hope that we have a nice pit stop, and back out on track in 13th position, which becomes 11th. And let's see what we can do from here. There is a small gap to the car in front, so hopefully we have the speed to close it. I believe that there are a few cars that are trying to do a 1-stop as well, so let's see what's possible. Yes, lovely, we gained the position, and yes, I think the gap is closing slightly, possibly. Let's see what happens. We have 1 car behind us, and after that there isn't any traffic behind us. Currently in the points position with 8. We need a few points realistically. We just need to see how good the driver is. And oh, we had a driver mistake just before the pit stop, so that will hurt us. So again, unlucky pit stop time, and back out on track in a 10th position. But closer to the car that was in front before the driver mistake. So without a driver mistake, we could have cleared him. And we have lost the position. It seems like we have run out of energy quite early. Yes, we are definitely losing quite a lot of pace. Yes, the driver ran out of energy quite early. So we might have used too high risk for this driver. So yes, we need to see what happened in the race analyze. Hopefully we can get a decent position. Points are out of the question, and yes, and just a little bit unlucky as well, but in the end that doesn't really matter when you run out of energy that early. So it looks like we are finishing in a 15th position for race 1 of the season. And time for the race analyze of race 1 of the season here at Zandvoort. So qualified in a lovely 7th position. I used 65 CT. I wasn't thinking that was that much, but apparently we ran out of energy quite early. Also unlucky with the driver mistakes just before the pit stop and when we cleared the traffic. So yes, but in the end we ran out of energy at lap 57, somewhere around there, and then we lost a second a lap, so that cost quite a lot of time. So in the end, 15th position. Today's video is sponsored by... Oh wait, I don't have any sponsors. Subscribe now. Time for the first test session of the season here at the test track Laguna Seca, and currently we don't have any testing points at all, so we need to get some to get our car CCP under control. We'll be selecting top speed and hard tires, and not quite sure how long that they will be lasting, so let's go for 25 laps and go safe and do the stint. Test stint done, and tires lasted quite a lot longer than I expected, so that's nice. So let's see how long I can. I think I do 38 or 37 laps, so that should be fine, and they should be easily lasting. So let's go for the longer one of the two, and let's just simply do the laps and try to complete the yes, lovely. Try to complete the test session just to get the testing points, so we have those into the bag, and the last stint as well. Lovely, all 100 laps done, and we should get some testing points for race 5 of the season. Let's take a look at the driver training that we do before race 2 of the season, and ideally I would like to train my driver on stamina, because he's losing 1 stamina each race, but sadly I need the energy to be pushing next race, so we will be doing a spa resort this time to get the energy back, so we can go back to pushing into the next race at Istanbul, and training done, and hopefully we get a nice result. Race 2 of the season here at Istanbul, qualified in a 7th position, and we need to get a good start in order to make the strategy work, so hopefully we can gain a few places. Looks like we are gaining a place already, yes, lovely, into a 5th position, question mark, yes, lovely. Yes, even a 4th position, nice, nice. So let's try and keep it, and let's see what's possible from here on in the race, and hopefully we won't be behind a slower car. Yes, lovely, even into a 3rd position after lap 1. So after lap 1 we have gained 4 positions into a 3rd place, and let's see what happens. Currently I'm boosting, and lap 2, 3 and 4. Let's see if anything more is possible. And yes, lovely, we seem to have gained a position into 2nd, and it looks like we cleared the traffic and we won't be held up by a slower car this race, so we can do our own pace, and let's see what happens in this race. It looks like a podium might be on the cards if everything goes correctly. Of course, this race I am doing a 3-stop with my Hancock tires, and it's about the pit stop time. Here we are into the pits, closely behind the car in front, and now back out of the pits into a 12th position, and we have lost some time in the pits to the car in front, sadly. So hopefully we can close the gap, and of course other cars are doing a 2-stop, so we need to wait and see what happens strategy wise. I think we will be okay. Yes, they have made their stop, and we are back into a 2nd position. We can do our own pace, we aren't blocked, lovely. So let's see what happens, and of course almost time for the 2nd pit stop. Look, hopefully we can gain back some time. We are about 6 seconds back, and hopefully we can get closer. And yes, back out in 7th. That looks like we gained something like 2 seconds, so that is nice to see. And yes, lovely, into a 5th position. And of course some cars still need to make their 2nd pit stop, so let's see what happens when they have done their pit stop. And yes, and of course we also need to do our own pit stop at the end, so yes, lovely, some cars have made the stop, so lovely. And we are currently 4 seconds back, so I think we have gained some time, and we just need a good pit stop, and let's see what happens. A podium is still on the cards, yes, he's pitting, I should be pitting, yes, now, yes, and we are 4 seconds back, and now we are... Yes, we have gained a little bit into the pit stop, so that's nice. And yes, and all cars have made their stop, and with about 10 laps to go, we are into a lovely 2nd position, very close to the car in front, and hunting a possible victory. And a few more laps to go. Can we do it? 2 laps left in the race, and let's see what's possible. Yes, lovely, we have gained the lead, so let's try and see if we can keep the car behind. It looks like Patrick might have some worn tires, so that might have been why we got past. And now it's just a matter of keeping the position, and then victory number 100 will be ours. But of course we have some pressure from the cars behind, starting the final lap of the race. And yes, lovely, we still kept the lead so far. Half a lap left, and we have been overtaken. Oh no. We have been overtaken by all 3 cars. I think something must have happened. I'm not quite sure. And a driver mistake as well on top of it. So yes, so sadly, so no victory and even not a podium. So I think we will be finishing in 4th position this race. And yes, indeed, we are finishing 4th in the end. Let's take a look at the race analyze to see why we didn't win the race in the end. So here we have the race analyze, started in a 7th position, 65 CT this time. The front wing finished at 100% damage, so it was a miracle that we weren't smoking. And then in the end we ran out of energy. So I guess before the driver mistake, that's why we lost the positions, because we ran out of energy compared to the others. And then on the end, the driver mistake as well on top. So at least we had 2 really nice pit stops that really helped us in this race, and that put us into the position that we might have been able to win the race. And that's it for this race, and let's go to the next one. But first I have a special announcement to make. For the next race I will be using my special livery, the white Red Bull, for the race at Japan. Time for a weather update for race 3 of the season here at Suzuka. It should be dry mostly, it's not too hot, and a small risk of rain, but it should be okay for the Hancocks. So that means that we need to train yet again a spa resort for the driver. And finally, after race 2 of the season, of course, we have the cup competition draw, and we have been drawn against number 10, Simone, and we have raced quite a lot, so this can go either way. If we win this, we might get into the quarterfinal against the seed number 3, so we'll see what happens. Race 3 of the season here at Suzuka, qualified in 11th position and didn't gain any positions at the start, which was really necessary for the strategy. So yes, I think everyone is doing 2 stops, and I am doing 3 stops with my extra soft tires. Yes, we had to downgrade some parts, and it seems like we have downgraded out the performance, so it's essential that we go testing in the future. And so far we are now up to a 9th position, but there are a few cars that were ahead that were slower, but pit stop time, and we are now back on track in 24th. But most importantly, we have clean air in front, so we aren't slowed down at all. So that's nice to see. And yes, we are in 12th position. No, even a 9th position. And we have some clean air. We can do our own pace. We aren't being blocked, so that's fine. So in the end, if we can get the top 10, that would be a nice result here, as we aren't expecting points or anything special, because we needed to downgrade the important levels. So we'll see what happens. So 2nd pit stop of the race, and back out on track in 14th position. Yes, so I believe we are all doing one more stop. So at 10th or 14th position. We'll see what happens, and of course we still need to get past the cup rival. He was still in front of us. And we are now in 9th position, and we have one more stop to go. So let's see what happens. We are quite close to the car in front. Maybe we can get past. No, it's pit stop time, so pit stop done. And back out on track in 11th position, so that's nice to see. And yes, hopefully, yes, close to the top 10. Basically got it. Seems like we have run out of energy. We are losing the connection to the car in front. So yes, we have lost the position, and we have finished the race in 12th position. So didn't get the top 10. Ran out of energy again. Race analyzed for race 3 of the season here at Suzuka. Yes, so we started in 11th position, didn't gain anything at the start. That's 65 CT, and we ran out of energy. So yes, and of course we had a strategy that didn't work, but my alternatives weren't that great. So we ran out of energy. It cost a little bit of time in the position. Pit stops weren't that amazing, and in the end, we got some money. And of course an update for the cup competition, and yes indeed, we won our match, so we are currently leading with 1. So let's see what happens next race. The season standing so far. We have done 3 races so far, and we managed to score 5 points in one of the races, and the other races we have been in the top 15 or something like that. And of course we had some driver issues with the energy. And of course the race weather for the next race is nothing special. Could have been worse actually, as this track has a very high tire wear, but nothing special to report about the weather. And let's see what we did in the race. Race 4 of the season, qualified in a 14th position, and at the start we gained the position. And yes, this track has a very high tire wear. That is going to make my life interesting. We are going for a 3-stop this race, and it seems like we have dropped down a few positions, but we got one back and yet another one, so lovely. Yes, so yes, I'm doing 3 stops. I'm not quite sure what the others are doing. There might be some guys that are doing a 2-stop strategy, and maybe we could have gone more interesting with the extra soft for 4 stops, but we went for softs and doing 3 stops, and some cars are making their stop, and we are doing as well. So this seems like a good mix of 3-stop cars and 2-stop cars, so we will see what happens. Of course, the aim for the race is to get a top 10 finish position or something close to it. Don't think points are viable today. And let's see. Yes, lovely. We are currently into an 11th position. Nope. Scrap that. We had a driver mistake. We are now in a 12th position. But we can do our own pace for most of the race. So that is nice to see. And I think we will be finishing on the position that we deserve this race, as long as the driver doesn't run out of energy yet again. And we are almost at the pit stop time. Other cars are making their stop, so we are up into an 8th position before we make our pit stop, and back out on track in a 17th position. But our cup opponent is still in front of us, so we need to make sure we get past him if possible. But we all have one more stop left, I believe, so it could be possible to get 2-0 lead into the cup and pit stop time yet again. But we are going a little bit later, so we have some clean track, so maybe we can gain a few positions whilst the others have pitted already. Yes, a few more laps until we make the pit stop. Currently into a 10th position, but that won't last, sadly. And yes, one more lap, and into the pits we go, and out of the pits in 14th position, and in front of our cup rival, so that's nice to see. So a few laps to go, 13th, yes, I don't think anything else will happen. The gap to the car in front is too big, and think we should be fine on driver energy, so I think we should be able to keep the car behind and finish in a lovely 13th position this race. And yes, a few more laps in the race, and yes, it looks still okay. He might be boosting, but we aren't, and we have finished the race in a 13th position. So let's take a look at the race analyzed for race 4 of the season. Here we go. We qualified in a 14th position. We got the position at the start, 65 CT yet again. And this time we have energy left over, so that's nice to see. So we did 3 stops, others did 2 stops. Pit stops very okay, I would like to say. Especially for doing 3 stops, and in the end, at 13th position. And yet again, we have a weather update for the next race, so let's take a look, and we can see there's raining in Q1 and Q2, and in the race it will be raining most likely as well. My tires don't like the wet, so we aren't pushing this next race. Before we go racing, let's take a look at the sponsor update that we have for you. Did you know that 50% isn't subscribed that watched the last video? And that's about 100 people, and you can be a sponsor as well. Race 5 of the season, qualified in a 32nd position in a full wet qualifying, and of course it's raining in the race as well, so we aren't pushing this race. We gained a few positions at the start, but it doesn't matter at all. So let's go to the end of the race and see where we finished the race using Zero CT this time, and I managed to finish the race in a 28th position, and that's basically it. Race analyze for race 5 of the season. A wet Sakhir started 32nd. I used Zero CT as it doesn't make sense to push with a driver with 109 talent. Of course, energy was okay, and it got dry, rained again, and got dry again at the end. In the end, 28th position, and nothing else to report. Nothing special really happened. And an update for the Cup competition as well. I managed to survive round 1 of the Cup competition, and we got into round 2 of the Cup competition with 2-1. And everything is possible. It mostly depends on the race weather what's possible in round 2 of the Cup. And let's take a look at the race weather for the upcoming race. And sadly it's raining again in qualifying and the race, so I think we will be behind in the Cup competition after this race, so not that much that I can do. Today's video is sponsored by... Oh wait, I don't have any sponsors. Subscribe now. Race 6 of the season, starting in a 37th position, and it's raining in Q2 and Q1, and it's raining in the race most likely, and we aren't pushing as the driver doesn't know how to drive into the wet conditions. We had an amazing start, and of course we will lose the positions as we aren't pushing at all. So in the end, so let's get to the finish, and in the end managed to finish the race in a 35th position with the car being on fire. And of course, after the race we are looking at the race analysis for race 6 of the season, and we have started in 37th position. I had a nice start, of course not pushing at all. Driver energy was fine, and then eventually it got dry, and we hadn't bit yet. But at the end of the race the car had an issue. Yes, the engine was losing power, and as we can take a look at the damage, and we can see that it was very heavily worn. So yes, pit stops not that amazing, and in the end we finished 35th. And of course for the Cup competition, that means that I have lost the first match in round 2 of the Cup competition, and so we are currently behind, and we need to get lucky with the weather to even have a chance. If it rains some more we might be out. And now we continue with the weather update for the upcoming race at Jeddah. Sadly, it's most likely a little bit too hot for my Hancock tires. We might be compromising the strategy, we're not quite sure, but at least it won't be raining, and we need to make it 1-1 into the Cup battle, so let's get going. But first, let's take a look at testing, as we haven't done a testing update, and for the upcoming race I need these updates. Need to downgrade a few parts, so yes, sadly we can't afford to test, otherwise the car will be too damaged. So these are the updates for the upcoming race. So far this season I have managed to do 4 test sessions of 400 laps, so we have some testing points already on the car, and a few more are coming onto the car very shortly. Some more power and some more handling, and hopefully we get some cold weathers that suit our tires, and we can go fast on track. Race 7 of the season here at Jeddah, qualified in a lovely 6th position, and it's critical for the strategy that we get into some clean air, and that we possibly get in front of some slower cars if it's at all possible. Yes, lovely, into a 4th position. Yes, I think this is what I need. Yes, so far it's looking good. No, it's not looking good at all. We have lost a few positions. Yes, lovely, we got it back. Yes, and now we need to keep the 4th position. It's very critical for the strategy to not be blocked or have any slower car in front of us. So currently it's all... oh no, we have lost a position. After lap 1, we are in a 5th position. We gained 1 position at the start, and the top 3 are running away. Sadly, we couldn't clear all the traffic, so we just have to pay our time. And this race I'm doing a silly strategy with the Hancock. Yes, lovely, we got past, and now we can do our own pace just before the pit stop. Yes, a silly strategy with Hancock, doing 4 pit stops, and I am 1 lap long on the strategy, so 1 lap late, and we are now at the back of the field, and it seems like we aren't being blocked that much by slower cars, so that's fine. And we cleared them. No, we haven't. Yes, and we are gaining places whilst other cars are pitting. I expect a lot of 3-stop strategies, so we will see what happens with the result. And here is pit stop number 2 of the race, and we are now currently in 22nd position after our 2nd pit stop, but all the 3-stop cars are just about to be pitting, so we will be gaining quite a few positions and not really being blocked that much, to be honest. Basically I'm able to do sort of my own pace for most of the race after the first pit stop, so we'll see what happens. And yes, time for the 3rd pit stop, and back out on track in yes, the 19th position, but particularly we are in front of our cup rival, so that's good to see, even with this silly strategy. And of course we still have 1 more pit stop to go, so the points position won't last, and I don't think we will be getting something like a point. So yes, last pit stop, and we are back out on track in a 19th position, and 20th with yet another driver mistake, but back up into 19th, and we have finished the race in the 19th position with a silly strategy that didn't work. And let's take a look at the race analyze for race 7 of the season here at Jeddah. So 4 stops, extra soft, which got me a lovely qualifying position of 4th. Only 55 CT this time, as Jeddah is a high energy track. Even has some energy left. 1 lap long on the pit stop. Pit stop times pretty okay, not amazing or perfect, and in the end we finished in the 19th position, but I don't think that really matters. But of course the most important from the last race was the cup competition, and we have managed to make it 1-1 into the cup, so we have a chance to get into the quarterfinal this season. So let's see what happens with that. Let's quickly take a look at the season standings so far. So far we have done 7 races, and we have managed to score some points early in the season when we had a silly car in the first episode. And yes, we are being a bit unlucky with some wet weather and some hot races. We are waiting for some cold weather, and hopefully we will have it in this episode. And let's continue with the weather update for the next race, and it will be hot at Kyalami with some tire wear. It will be tricky for me to do a 1 stop with hard tires, so we might need to reduce the CT risk slightly. Before we go racing, it's time for another test session, and this time my car damage is at 89 at a single part, so we can do a short test stint first to start with, so that we get into 90% damage, and then we can do 1 big stint and get over 90% damage. So let's first do the short stint with hard tires, hairpins this time, and we're hoping to get 1% damage, and yes, lovely, 1% damage on the front wing. So now we can add 180 liters of fuel and go for a big stint. I guess 40 laps, let's calculate it, and yes indeed, about 45 should be possible, so let's do 44. Then we have done 50 laps of the test session, and hopefully the tires will last for this amount of laps. And yes, lovely, perfect, 50 laps of the test sessions are done. Some time has passed since the last 2 stints of the test session, but we are finally ready to complete the test. And of course let's go for 2 stints of 25 laps, and of course hairpins. 180 liters and just drive the laps, and it should be all fine. And let's do 25 laps. Yes, lovely. So yes, 25 more laps to go. So let's take out some fuel and do another test stint and complete the test session. And yes, lovely. All 100 laps done in the test session. We got our testing points, and soon we'll be on to the car. Race 8 of the season here at Kyalami, qualified in 29th position, but that's mostly due to the fact that I'm doing a one-stop strategy with some reduced risk to get some kind of a result. I suspect that there are some two-stop strategy guys. So at the start we have gained 2 positions into a 27th position, where we are still at the moment into lap 15. We got lucky and got past a few cars that had a driver mistake or something, so we are now up into a 23rd position even, and we are currently into some kind of clean air and being able to do my own pace. And most importantly, my cup rival is right beside me, and yes, he's still beside me. Yes, some cars coming into the pits for their two-stop strategy, and currently we are up to a 13th position, lovely, doing our own pace, and soon the tires should be going off. Yes, we have bad tires, and yes, I believe we are 1 lap long, and into the pits we are, and back out on track in an 18th position, no, 19th position, but back to an 18th position, and still in front of my cup rival, so that is nice to see, and so far so good. Of course, points are never on the table this race, and where we are, no, we have a driver mistake. We have a driver mistake, so we are currently behind our cup rival at the moment, and some cars are doing the second pit stop, and we are gaining some positions, and let's see if we can close the gap, or maybe he needs to do another pit stop. I'm not quite sure at the moment. Yes, there he is into the pits. So we are now in front of him, and we are in 18th position with about 15 laps to go. Yes, basically no cars in front or behind us, so I think the race is basically done. We are finishing in 18th, I suspect, unless something crazy is going to happen. I don't think that I will be running out of energy this race, so yes, the cars behind are closing, but we should have, yes, lovely, we finished the race in an 18th position. And of course, let's check out the race analyze for race 8 of the season here at Kyalami. So qualified 29th position, gained a few positions at the start, 55 CT, plenty of energy left, so we can do a fitness training. Did a one-stop strategy, but other cars doing a two-stop strategy, so we gained some positions and finished in an 18th position with some kind of a decent pit stop, and of course we have earned some money. And that means that the round 2 of the cup competition has finished, and luckily we managed to beat our opponent 2-1, and we are into the quarterfinal. Yes, a very difficult draw. Most likely we aren't going to be winning this unless we get really lucky with cold weather. And we have a weather update for the upcoming race. Sadly for us, the upcoming race is very hot and even wet in Q2 and the first 30 minutes of the race, and it's about 20 wet laps. It's basically too hot to be pushing at all. My tires won't last at all. Race 9 of the season here at Interlagos, wet in qualifying, and the race is starting wet again, so we are basically qualified last and running last in the race in the wet portion of it, and at lap 24 it got dry, and we are still running basically last, but now it's pit stop time for some dry tires, and we are able to catch up to a few cars ahead, but the damage is done already, and of course we are using low risk, so in the end we finished the race in a 32nd position, and that's basically all that happened. And of course we take a look at the race analyze for race 9 of the season here at Interlagos, qualified basically last, used 25 CT this time, and of course we had plenty of energy left, got dry, and we gained back some positions, but nothing really happened in this race for us to be mentioning about. And if we take a look at the upcoming weather for the upcoming race, we can see that it's dry and on the colder side, and that it won't be raining. So maybe we can get some kind of result here at Mexico City. We'll see what happens in a bit. And let's take a look at the driver training as well. Yes, when I don't need to train for spa resort, I'm training for fitness training to get more stamina, because this driver is losing 1 stamina each race, so we need to train it, and otherwise it will just go down. So yes, fitness training, because we have enough energy for the upcoming race. So that's basically the training that I am doing at the moment with this driver. Today's video is sponsored by... Oh wait, I don't have any sponsors. Subscribe now! Race start of the season here at Mexico City, qualified in the 7th position, and for the strategy it can be useful if we gain a few positions, as we are pushing this race flat out, doing a 2-stop strategy, and we haven't gained any position just yet, and we have to fight to keep our position. Yes, lovely. Now we have gained some positions up into a 4th position. That would be very lovely. Indeed, can we keep it? No, we can't keep it. We are 5th after the first lap. So on the opening lap, we have gained 2 positions into our 5th place, which could be really nice. And no, we're still 5th, but we are hopefully doing our own pace. It looks like it, and we aren't blocked. I believe we can just about follow the leaders at this stage of the race, and there is a lovely gap forming behind, so that's really nice to see. So we don't need to worry about anything. We're just lacking a little bit of pace. Yes, this race we are doing 2 stops. I think everyone else is doing a 2-stop as well. Yes, you can see that they have some bad tires here in front of me. So I think we should be gaining some time, and pit stop time, and back out in the pits, and we have gained 2 positions. Yes, lovely. We have gained 2 positions during the pit stop with not having bad tires, and I guess having a very good pit stop, and not having any driver mistake. So currently we are 4th. That is because someone hasn't pitted yet in front, and yes, we can afford to lose a position. Yes, 2nd to 4th or 5th, we'll see what happens, and in the end, where we will finish, we have to do 1 more stop, and of course the cars in front will be having some bad tires, whilst I don't have bad tires. Also, I'm going 1 lap longer, because I have a little bit too much fuel, and pit stop time done, and we have jumped another car during the pit stop. Really lovely. We are currently 3rd if all cars have pitted. Oh, he has a mechanical problem, and we have gained the position. So that would be a net 2nd position. Yes, lovely. Here we are into 2nd position with 3 cars behind me that are fast and trying to get past. About 10 laps left in the race. Can we hold them off? We'll see what happens. It looks like it can, but it's very interesting to see what happens. Yes. So far, looking good. A few laps to go. 2 laps left, and we are still in 2nd position, but we have a few cars closely behind that are looking to get past. And important to know that I am not boosting in these last few laps, but we are expecting them. Yes, lovely. 2 of them have some bad tires, so hopefully we can pull away slightly. Think it should be, as I haven't bad tires, and yes, lovely. You can already see the gap opening, so I think it should be fine. If nothing crazy happens, of course, the car that doesn't have bad tires got past them as well into the 3rd position. We are, yes, lovely. We are coming around to the last corner and into the stadium section. Yes, lovely. And we are finishing in a lovely 2nd position today with some lovely champagne and a podium. and the best result of the season, simply lovely. And of course, let's check out the race analysis for race 10 of the season here at Mexico City. Qualified 7th, 5th after the start, 65 CT this time, and still some energy left at the finish. No boosting, little bit of bad tires, 2 pit stops, very nice pit stops, and less bad tires than the opposition, and no driver mistake this entire race, and a lovely second position in the end race, the best result of the season, and a lovely podium. And of course we have an update for the cup competition with that lovely second position. We have now made it 1-1 into the cup quarterfinal, and we still have a shot to get through into the semi-final, but it will be very hard to do so. So let's see what happens. Race 11 of the season here at Miami, qualified in the 28th position sadly, and at the start we gained 4 positions into 24th, which becomes 25th. Yes, I'm not quite sure why I was so bad at qualifying. Some reason the pace wasn't there, and it's also slightly on the hotter side, but also not that hot as well. So yes, let's see what happens in this race. We are still pushing and trying to achieve some kind of result, and I think everyone is doing a 2-stop pit stop strategy. So that is what we are doing, and it's almost time for the pit stops. I think I will be a little bit long yet again. Yes, indeed, a little bit long, and into the pits finally, and out of the pits into 23rd position, which becomes 22nd. Lovely, back into traffic, back into racing with all the cars, and let's see what's possible. Hopefully we can jump a few of these cars before the second pit stop. I don't even know if I have to pace this race to get a really nice result, and somehow we have been promoted to a 17th position in this race, and it's almost pit stop time for the cars ahead. And 16th position, yes, pit stops, here they come. And yes, 14th, and here we are into the pits, and back out on track in 18th position. So yes, I think 18th or maybe a 14th, 15th is the maximum we can get this race. We'll see what happens. Yes, it's just slightly too hot, not more that I can do. Maybe I'm not pushing that enough, but we'll see that. And into a 17th position as the car in front had a driver mistake, and a few laps to go, and it looks like we are finishing the race in a 17th position. Sadly, no podium this time, and we'll see what the Dutch did for the cup competition. But first, the race analysis for Miami, so let's check it out. And yes, indeed, qualified 28, 60 CT this time. Wasn't sure about the risk, and we had plenty of energy left over. Maybe we could have used a little bit more, but I wasn't sure, and the tires are pretty much on the limit as well, so 65-70 could have been possible, but that is it really. And in the end, a 17th position, no points. Yes, we'll see what happened in the cup competition now. And the cup competition update is here, and sadly we are knocked out into the cup competition. The 17th position wasn't good enough, and we weren't lucky enough with the weather, or with some bad luck for him. The time has come to take a look at the staff and facilities mid-season, so that means that we need an update. Yes, my max training is currently at 24, and my trained staff is also at 24. If the max training goes below the 24 of the staff, the skills will be dropping, and we don't want that. So we need to buy some more facilities, and yes, a pit stop commercial is gonna be very expensive. So yes, so I guess we go for wind tunnel and 20 levels in the workshop as well. That should be enough for the time being, that we keep our staff and that we don't lose any skills that they have. And update done, and max training is now at 30. That should be fine for the rest of the season. Race 12 of the season here at Fiorano, qualified in an 8th position this time, and we are pushing to get some points possibly, but in order to do that we need to get past a few cars on the start, if at all possible. It seems like we have got, no, we haven't got a position. Yeah, it's lovely, we have got 2 positions. No, we haven't. We'll see what happens. Yes, up into a 6th position as we come up to the main straight. Can we get one more? No. After the start, we have gained 2 positions into a 6th, and we are boosting in the next 3 laps, and we got past a car, and we are now up into 5th position. And it seems like that we managed to get past one of the slower cars, so that could be good for the strategy. And let's see, I think we can do our own pace for most of the race. And yes, we are losing time to the leader, but I think that is okay, as he's just too fast. Yes, this race we are doing 3 stops. The pit stop is almost coming up. A few more laps to go, and we have some bad tires. So we might lose a little bit of time with having some bad tires. And pit stop time, and back out on track in, what are we, 22nd position for now, as we wait for the other cars in front of us to make their first pit stop of the race. And yes, lovely, they are doing so now, and we are gaining positions yet again. And currently we are in 12th, no, 10th position, 9th position, 8th position. Yes, it seems like we have lost maybe a position. And of course we have lost some time with some bad tires, whilst others are still on track. So we are now running in a lovely 8th position. There's still a point that we can take home. And the second pit stop is coming up shortly. And yes, one more lap. One more lap. And here we come into the pits. Yes, into the pits. And back out on track in 13th position. And the driver mistake, but we haven't lost the position, luckily. And yes, just waiting for other cars to make their stop. We also need to make our pit stop, so it looks like we will be finishing outside of the points in like a 12th position or something like that, as others need to do a stop and I need to make a stop. And yes, a few more laps until the pit stop. It seems like the points won't happen this race, sadly. But for that we might have needed to do a 2-stop, but then the qualifying wouldn't be as good as it was, so we'll never know. And pit stop time, and back out on the track in a 12th position indeed, yes. And about 10 laps to go, and we are finishing in 12th position. No car in front, and no car directly behind us, so there shouldn't happen anything at the end of the race for us. And yes, a few more laps. Of course I am boosting also, but doesn't matter. And we have finished the race in a 12th position. And of course we are looking at the race analyze for race 12 of the season, and we have qualified in 8th position, the 6th after the start, and boosted on 2nd, 3rd and 4th lap. 65 CT this time, ran out of energy, but we started only with 91% energy, one driver mistake in the race, and ran out of energy, but I would say basically perfect energy usage, and nice pit stops I would like to say, and finished the race in the 12th position. Let's start with taking a look at the season standings, and so far we have scored 13 points, and we are in the top 10 of the championship, and we had a lovely podium last time, and hopefully in the upcoming races we get some lovely cold weather where we can get a very nice result. And of course let's take a look at the driver training as well. For the upcoming race, my driver needs some energy, so we need to do a spa resort, so we can't train for fitness class to get some stamina, so we need to do the spa resort because we need the energy to be racing flat out. So let's confirm that, and we got the energy back, and let's go racing. And race 13 of the season here at Branch Hatched, qualified in 11th, and at the start gained a few positions into 4th, which becomes a 6th position. But we are doing a silly 3-stop strategy that might not work if everyone else is doing 2 stops or something like that. So we'll see what happens, but so far we are in a 6th position early in the race, and we are into traffic. I think we can't really do our own pace, but it's, yes, we have cleared the train, but now my tires have gone off, so it's almost a pit stop time, and here we are into the pits, and it looks like we are the only one that does a 3-stop, so the strategy most likely won't work. And we had a driver mistake, lovely, and yes. So strategy doesn't work. I don't think I have the overspeed to clear that many cars, to be honest, and also there might be some blocking as well. So yes, basically the race is done. Let's see what we can get out of it. Anything close to a top 10 won't be possible for sure. And so far we are in 21st. Yes, here we have the cars that are making a stop, or even yes, but we are doing our second stop, and we are back down to 27th. Yes, so I can clearly see midway the race that I'm finishing in about 25th or 26th position or something like that. There's not really anything else we can salvage from this. Of course, we are gaining some positions now, but that is just because the cars are making their stops or having a driver mistake or something like that. But we are coming in for our last pit stop here, and back out on track in a 26th position, and no car in front and really no car behind, but we gain a position into 25th because of a pit stop, and it looks like we are finishing the race in a 25th position. And yes, that's basically it. There's not that much more that was possible at 25th position for this race. And of course we take a look at the race analyze for race 13 of the season here at Branch Hatch, qualified 11th, 7th after the start, 65 CT. It's a silly 3-stop strategy that clearly didn't work. Yes, also ran out of energy. Bad pit stop times for the amount of fuel that we tanked, but at the end the energy was pretty okay at the end, so maximized it. And we have a weather update for the next race. The next race at the Nurburgring, it will be cold, but most importantly it will be dry. So this should be ideal conditions for my tires, and they should be the best. And we should be able to get points or a podium. Race 14 of the season here at the Nurburgring, qualified in a 7th position, and it's cold this time around, and we are pushing flat out, trying to get some positions at the start, and it looks like we are able to get past a few cars. So let's keep going, and let's keep going forward and not backwards, damn it. But we can try it again. Yes, lovely here in the inside. No, outside here. Yes, keep going. Yes, one more please, one more, keep going. Doesn't look like it, but at the end of lap 1 we are in 2nd position. Yes, that was indeed an amazing start, gaining 5 positions on the opening lap, going from 7th to 2nd, and now we have lost a few positions because we aren't boosting, and it seems like we don't have the pace to follow the cars in front, and there is only really one car behind me closely. After that there is a gap opening as well, and yes, here we can see the gap, so only one car behind us, and we are doing a 2-stop strategy this time, hoping to pit at lap 20 or lap 21 if I'm a lap longer. Yes, lap 21, here we are into the pits, and the gap has become bigger, so that means that my pit crew has done a better job, but that's also positive. So now we can't get a driver mistake anymore because there isn't a car closely in front and a car closely behind, so we won't have any more driver mistakes this race, but sadly the pace isn't good enough to follow the cars in front, so it looks like we are getting a P4 quite early on in the race at about the 2nd pit stop time, and here we are. Yes, at back out on track in 6th position, but a few cars still need to make their stop, and yes, back into the 4th position. Yes, about 10 seconds in front of us they are the Golden cars, and completely no pressure from behind. We got a little bit closer. If we get anything more, we need to be very lucky for a car to break down or retire, but we don't hope that at all. So it looks like we are, yes, we have finished the race in a lovely 4th position where we have been the entire race basically. And let's take a look at the race analyze for race 14 of the season here at the Nurburgring, qualified in a 7th position, and then 2nd after the start, 65 CT. Basically ran out of energy, but not quite. A best pit stop of the race, and in the end finished in a lovely 4th position, and we got some decent points on the board. And we have a weather update for the upcoming race, and sadly it's going to be most likely a full wet race, so we aren't pushing, so that means that we are able to do the fitness training yet again. Today's video is sponsored by... Oh wait, I don't have any sponsors. Subscribe now! Race 15 of the season here at Imola, qualifying 2 was wet and qualified in a 35th position, and the race should be fully wet, and we don't have any driver that likes to race in the wet, so we are most likely going to be finishing last or very close to it, so we won't have any pace, and in the end we managed to finish the race in last position of the cars that we are still running. It's 37th position, and of course we can take a look at the race analyze, but it's not really that much to show. We qualified 35th, used zero risk, energy isn't a problem, it raced all race long, we did a pit stop but it doesn't matter, and in the end we finished last and didn't make any money really. Race 16 of the season, qualified in a 36th position because of some rain in qualifying, and in the race it will be raining quite a lot, so we aren't pushing. So in the end we finished the race in a 33rd position, not using any risk, and that's everything we could do. So let's check out the race analyze for race 16 of the season. Yes, we started down the field. Half of the race was wet with wet tires, so didn't make any sense to be pushing at all, and in the end we finished 33rd. And let's take a look at the weather update for the last race of the season. Yes, here at Monaco it's most likely going to be raining some point in the first 25% of the race, and after that my driver doesn't know how to drive, so sadly we won't be pushing in the last race of the season. Before we go to race 17, I have an announcement to make. If it wasn't clear yet, we are going to be relegating back to Pro, hopefully. Yes, we will be doing this by spending some money and being into negative balance after race 17 of the season. But first we need to do some spending. Maybe we will be looking to hire a driver already for Pro, so that we don't need to do that next season. So we'll see what we will do, and of course we need to make sure that we spend enough, but not too much money. In order to relegate, I have decided to spend some money on some contract offers. So we have offered 2 drivers a contract and a technical director. Yes, and so that we can hopefully get the driver for next season already. And we are very hopeful that we have a nice, decent result with it. So far, we should be expecting no offers on them anymore, so hopefully we can win them. Yes, and we had the success. We had to pay some money for the new driver and some compensation for the old one, and we got the technical director, so we have spent some money. So currently we have 6 million in the bank. We are doing fitness training with the new driver, and we need to don't forget that we are currently 8th in the standings, so we get prize money after race 17, which we need to spend as well, otherwise we will be into the positive balance. So I think I need to spend about 11 million. Let's invest some money into a car part. I think we can afford to buy the suspension level 7 for next season, and the electronics. Wait, we can't afford the electronics. We need to stay positive after the car update, so let's only buy the suspension. And yes, the lovely, we still have 1 million left over to spend. We are still positive, so that makes it easier to spend. And I decided to buy some facilities, so let's get some commercial and let's get some pit stop training center. That should be plenty of money. Yes, let's do level 69. That should put us down to about almost 9 million into negative, and the limit for facilities in Pro is 60, so anything over we will be compensated for in the next season, so we will get some of this money back without with spending it. And I think this should ensure that we are decent enough into the negative balance that we won't get a positive bank balance after the race, so that is quite important. Otherwise we don't relegate and we are stuck in master for a season with the PP rally where we can't do anything, so we want to avoid that. Race 17 of the season here at Monte Carlo, qualified in a 34th position, and the race will be starting in dry conditions, and then it should be raining somewhere in the race, so we aren't pushing this race, and also we want to finish low in the order, and we have managed to finish the race in a 29th position, and hopefully that isn't too high. We'll see in a moment in the race analyze. Race analyze for the race 17 of the season. Here we go. We qualified 34th position, not using any risk. It's a lovely new driver. Of course, energy is fine. The rain came a little bit late. The car didn't break as early as I was expected, and in the end, 29th position. And that was finishing position one place too high, as we haven't managed to finish the season into negative balance. We just got positive after the race, so sadly we won't be relegating, whilst we wanted to. Let's take a look at the season standings after race 17 of the season, and in the end we finished the season in an 8th position overall with 18 points. And we scored points in 3 races when it was cold enough and we didn't mess up the strategy. Overall, I think the season was pretty hot with quite a lot of wet weather. Also, you needed to score basically a point to retain. So yes, sadly we got it into negative money, so we stayed in Master 1. So let's see what we can do next season in Master 1. But first, end of season stuff. And let's get going with the end of season. We'll be starting with the driver that we had for 16 races of the season. We did some testing, and when we could, we did fitness training because he was old and every race he's losing his stamina. It was quite hard to keep up his stamina to a decent enough level that you needed to train a lot of fitness. And the season earnings, so we earned 299 million. Yes, of course, the earnings are the most important thing. If you want to make money, we got almost 47 million in sponsor income, but that was basically all in the first 9 races of the season. Yes, and then we have, of course, the expenditure. Yes, of course, it's more, but we plan to spend it all and relegate, which sadly didn't happen. Yes, so here we spent the money on all of this stuff. Of course, the tires are one of the most expensive things that you can cut on if you go for something else that is less expensive. If we take a look at my economic history, we can see that we got some earnings after race 17, but those are all okay. And then we have the prize money for finishing 8th in the season. We calculated for that. Yes, but sadly I only did 1 practice lap. I could have done more, and then we would have been into negative money, and then it would all be okay. But sadly I didn't think about it. I thought it was okay. So sadly we didn't get negative, and we didn't relegate this season, whilst I wanted to relegate. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon, and check out one of these videos if you haven't, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Goodbye!